Alrighty, so yeah, here you guys are. Have I got you on this screen? Let me make sure.
Yes.
Well, that's good noises, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Creepy. Figured you'd have some noises of just like rocks chilling, you know?
Yeah.
Rocks.
Alright, so yeah, so they led you up to the big double iron doors, and swing them open and invite you to step into the great hall of the Dwarven Lord, Brawn Heavyhands. Let's go ahead and get you in here.
Okay.
Now, when we look in, is it just... Oh, it's a whole new room. Cool.
Hello.
Never mind.
Oh, shit.
This is fancy.
Oh, that anvil.
Wow.
I love dwarves, I swear.
We know when you hate
Okay.
elves, we get it.
We get it.
So once you walk in to the huge big stone hallway, there are like 4 huge rune carved pillars in rows on either side, holding up the huge stone ceilings. You can see standing either side of the doors a couple of dwarven guards, both in ceremonial plate mail, carrying very kind of ornate looking warhammers and big shields. There are 4 more similar guards sitting on large benches either side. At the far end of the hall, you can see a dwarf with a thick black beard and only one eye. He has an eye patch. Sitting on a big, fairly non-impressive but large stone throne. In the very center of the room is a huge bronze embossed circle that sunk down into the stone itself. The far left and far right, right before you get to 2 more doors that look like they venture further into this hallway, you can see suits of armor on racks, impressively kind of displayed, as well as weapon racks of axes and spears and hammers and shields, either side. Either side of the huge throne are 2 ginormous statues of dwarves, one kind of with his hands resting on a big 2-handed warhammer, and the other who's holding a 1-handed warhammer in his left hand, and just lazily with his right arm down. But they are obviously dwarves of some renown and some note from dwarven history. There are huge banners flowing on the walls depicting what seems to be the same symbol as is embossed in the center room. The most striking thing, however, is a huge anvil that is sitting in front of the king's throne, or the lord's throne. It is raised up slightly on a wooden pedestal, but you can see an eminence of glowing orange raising up from it. Almost like the floating, raising eminence of heat, but instead of waving like heat, it seems to be a more solid kind of illuminescent glow. Once you get there, with his one eye, and seems like he's finishing eating something, he says, "So tell me, are you going to just stand down there, or are you going to come in? Make your way up to the throne, let me see you. I don't see as good as I used to."
Sure. I'll kind of look behind myself and go, come on, everyone.
Right, yes, of course. Hello.
I'm
strutting up, holding my axe very proud over my shoulder.
I'm not going to step
we
on
don't
that
have our
seal.
weapons.
We don't
Okay.
have our weapons.
No, none of
right.
you actually have your
Dang
weapons.
it.
Remember, they were all handed in.
Forgot.
Most of you don't have weapons.
But at that point, this dwarf here with a large, thick black beard and a kind of like a symbol on his left eye and a huge, big, thick black mohawk says, "No closer than the anvil. Take a step back."
Oh, of course.
Sorry.
I knew that, of course.
Just stumble backwards.
All right. Then he sits down and goes silent again. So, what is it you come to see Brawn Heavyhand about? Brawn says as he kind of strokes his huge, big, thick, massive, full beard.
Cyrano would love to meet you.
I was gonna do it because I assumed
What he wants to talk about.
Yeah. Well, Brawny, here's the thing, pal.
Brawny!
Excuse me. Cyrano.
Brawny!
I thought.
And with that, he kind of like, you see his chest start to, and his face begins to get a little red in the cheeks. The blonde-headed dwarf over the other side, who is also bald and has the same marking over his eye, says, perhaps it would be better if we just started with some simple introductions.
Sure, I apologize. It's your strength exudes off of you like great brawn. I apologize. It struck me. It must have been does Freud exist in this world? A Freudian slip.
Yes, but
Cyrano, tell him your
but
name.
who are you?
Oh, I am Cyrano de Yam. And I'll do a big flourish with a little bow.
Okay. And then his eye kind of falls off of Cyrano and stares at Annie.
Right, yes, I am Annie St. Clair, paladin of goddess Myris at your service.
Myris?
Yes.
Hmm.
Have you heard of her?
Well, of course I've heard of her. What about you, big fella?
My name is Alekma Valukanathi, druid of Alona. I'm gonna nod my head a little bit lower.
All right. And then he turns his final gaze to Britannica. And what about you, lass?
And I kind of stand up tall and just whip my hair back and not lose my headphones and say, I'm Britannica. Pleased to meet you.
Well, pleasure to meet you too, I suppose. Now then, back to your business. Not everybody just stumbles across Irantos, and nobody tends to come here unless it be that they want to. So, you'll either be looking for aid, or something to eat, or you'll be up to mischief, no doubt. But why don't you start giving us a explanation of what it is that you claim to be up to?
Absolutely. No mischief afoot from us. I can assure you of that. We are not little mischief makers running around causing mischief, as you said. Okay. We were in fact trying to find this town. This is wonderful mountain dwelling. It's gorgeous. I mean, the different sort of rocks and. Oh, sorry. Yes. Are you familiar with the town further down the mountain?
Town? What town? Yeah, one of the dwarves, the blonde bearded dwarf says, I think he'd be talking about the village of Hillumbridge, your lordship.
Yes, that's the one.
Aye, what of it?
Well, it seems as though they, at first, what we can understand, they had a period of protection that was long withstanding until just recently, and now they are being raided by orcs and bandits and other ne'er-do-wells.
Ne'er-do-wells?
And what does that have to do with us here at Irantur?
Well, we thought that being as benevolent as I'm sure you all are, you might see fit in order to maybe offer aid and protection for that town, for a sort of a trade of whatever they can offer as well.
Well, benevolence usually tends to be unprofitable. Not something we're particularly interested in here.
Which is what I'm saying. Your benevolence is first tier. Second tier, they'll make a couple of deals on the side.
We have some of the finest forges and mines here in the Southern Kingdoms. What is it that you could expect for a small human mining village to possibly offer us?
Love, heart, spirit.
Oh, love!
Those are the most important.
Those are the most important human qualities.
There might be
roll my
human
eyes
qualities,
audibly.
but
And dwarf
they don't
qualities.
stack up very well in the dwarven communities, I can tell you that.
How about the safety of all your trade routes that are going to surely be threatened when the town falls to these orcs and they start going deeper and deeper into the mountains?
We have an understanding with the orcs.
We'll tell that to the patrol we slaughtered not a night ago, a couple nights ago. They were quite close to you.
They may have been close, but they wouldn't have actually come anywhere near here.
Well, we thought the same about the village itself, but they...
Yes, but the village is a simple human village. Not a fortified dwarven settlement with over 100 dwarven warriors to protect it.
I have no doubt that this is an impenetrable place. But
Answer
I'm
me
talking
this,
about
though.
beyond.
What seems to be of more interest to me is our northern brethren, who are relegated to being atop of the watchtower. They be telling me that you came in with Sean Greybeard. What be you knowing about Sean? What be your relationship with the Greybeard?
It was so awful we had to rescue him.
Yes, from those orcs that you have an understanding with. Shut up.
The orcs were attacking Greybeard?
Huh?
Well, I
Yep.
don't know if they were orcs, but they were around. And he was injured, and we had to save him from great peril.
Right, but if you saved him, you're telling me that you saved him, but you didn't see what it was that he was being needed to be saved from.
Dear no.
What? Fine, tell him.
It was some kind of devil.
It
Some
was
kind-
some
I've heard
kind of
orcs
devil.
called devils before, I understand.
No. I think she means literal devil.
Like literal devil, yes.
Literal devil, like with horns and snakes for a beard.
Snakebeard.
Snakebeards?
Brawn snakebeard.
What a snake for a beard! And with that, he kind of looks at the
Snakes,
two dwarfs
plural.
sitting either side of him, and he goes, "What an abomination!"
We did not know about this Greybeard's past with you when we saved him. We just saw a person in dire straits.
I see.
That's the human love coming out. What can we say?
And with that, you see a kind of a bit of a smirk starts to form on his head as you kind of like his eyes start to look up, and he's like,
That's so funny.
ah. Oh. Well, interesting. So
Yes.
that's you come all this. You're from the village, I take it, for a village of Hull Umbridge.
No.
Probably the only 4 able-bodied people they've got to muster.
No, we have come from far, far away.
Really?
We
Then
are
did
on
they perhaps empty all their barely-earned coffers and pay you to come here and seek our aid?
No.
Quite, no.
Quite no.
So you come traipsing through the mountains, braving orcs and trolls and ogres and other hideous creatures, for what? Just out of the kindness of your own hearts?
Don't make me say it.
We have another personal mission that has taken.
Ah, now we're getting to it. Ah.
Sure, there is a slight other
He
matter.
kind of sits back and leans into his throne and crosses his arms. Right, let's have it. How much do you want? And what are you willing to pay?
No, we want
What?
information.
Oh, you're not come for silver ore?
No.
Oh, and there was I thinking that you were little more than pompous traders.
Do we look like traitors? I'm sorry. This little one, he could probably trade well. And I'm going to point at Cyrano.
Well, he clearly has the gift of the gob.
Thank you. But yes, he is true. All we're asking for is one measly morsel of information.
Or more, if it's related, I mean.
So what is it you're trying to find out?
I'll say it. We're looking for something called the Godstone.
The Godstone?
Yes.
When you say that, you see that basically both of the dwarves sitting in the stool, in the chairs either side of him with the, kind of makeup on their faces, the mark. Both of them, like, almost like you at the exact same time, both go and raise an eyebrow and look at each other. Like, it clear. One of them looks to Brawn, Heavyhand, and says, "Well, and Brawn kind of shuts him down. He says, "I see. Well, we'll help you. And more still, the village."
What?
"Yes, of course.
Wonderful.
Yes, of
Change your mind.
course.
Something changed.
No, we'd be happy to help. I mean, after all, if we were in a similar circumstance, I'm sure you're good enough to help us, right?"
Okay. This is good news, right?
Well, it
I mean, I
started
assume
off to be, but
You're
now
not
it's
gonna
not.
expect me to be all benevolent when you wouldn't be doing so in kind.
Okay.
Well, we're benevolent. We saved your friend, your brethren.
So, if we were in trouble, you'd help us too.
Sure would, because of that human heart and spirit I mentioned.
Right.
A few times.
Yes.
Multiple
Well,
times
that's
now.
very fortunate, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
As I said, we'll help you, and more still the village. But we could use your assistance as well.
Here we
You must first do a thing of service for us.
But we're losing time with the orcs and Hill Umbridge.
Well, ironically, the orcs are involved.
Oh.
By the gates, you already kind of threw yourselves in the middle of it, unbeknownst to you, dealing with Sean, so you did. You see,
Yes.
Sean Greybeard is one of a handful of dwarves from a fallen clan, much like the tower guards and the record keeper in the entry hall. They be from the other side of the mountain. They were a proud lot, but somewhat unruly clan. Their clan is now no more, and we took in the dozen or so refugees that made it here alive. When they left their halls, there were almost 36 of them. And their lord was bringing me a tribute in the form of an amulet. Sadly, they were set upon by an orc warband on the road, and their great lord was slain by the orc leader, Grimdar Deathclaw. Says, the dwarves drove them off, but the amulet was taken. Now we, as I mentioned before, we have a delicate peace here in the mountains with the orcs, and we can't risk open war, but a small band of unaligned thieves could sneak into the orcs' camp, couldn't they? And take it. Don't worry, Grimdark. Deathclaw isn't at the camp to the south-southwest. That's where my amulet would be. You see, to the orcs, it's just a trinket. And it was given to Bullhead Nutbutt as his share of the spoils. But to me, well, it's worth way more.
Oh, so you want a little shadow cell subterfuge move going on? Oh.
Well,
You've seen me, but I can't sneak around without a secret pass.
well, I've got a plan to make that easier on you as well.
Oh?
And to be sure, also make sure that the orcs don't think you be from the village and that they're responsible should you get caught.
Okay, sounds like you have this plan pretty well formulated already.
Well, of course, they come to me and let me know of your dealings with Sean and the fact that you were heading towards the hall a good 30 minutes or so before you actually arrived.
Oh, Brain and Brawn.
Well, you don't get to be Lord of the Hall without having,
Get it?
Yep.
Oh, I do get it. So you're...
Oh yes, of course.
I used to have a court jester myself once, but
You need a new one.
after a while they
Pretty good.
tend to wear on you and grate, and I've never had the patience to keep them around.
We've been traveling with Cyrano for long.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
So, if you'll acquire me amulet back, then I'll have one of me rune smiths, one of me stone tellers to tell you all about the black stone that you're looking for, and we'll make a pledge to defend and take care of your village for you as well.
A little B&E S&G. I like that.
Ripley the Dark Queen,
break-
thanks for the
break
cheer,
it.
my dear.
Break and enter, snatch and grab. You see,
Enter.
snatch and grab.
Well, if there's one thing that dwarves are not particularly
Yes,
well
indeed.
known for, it's our sneaking ability. Our ability to be subtle.
I'm sorry. I have a pondering thought.
And what would that be?
I'm surprised you have a tenuous peace with these orcs when everything I know about them from where I'm from, they are evil incarnate to be destroyed without thoughts.
They are foul and obnoxious creatures, to be sure.
You clearly have the military strength to deal with them.
To deal with the band of orcs in the south, yes. But to deal with Grimdar Deathclaw and his main warband to the north, should we throw a proverbial rock in the ant pile, as it were, even if we were able to fend him off, which no doubt we would, it would be a costly venture, and a lot of good lads would die. No, I'm not about sending me boys in to fight for nothing. All the time they stay out of our way, we'll stay out of theirs.
See, the problem is we were told that the Godstone was just northwards, generally. If you're to tell me that there's an even worse warband north of us, whatever information you give us won't help us having to go that way.
Well, how you get to this Godstone won't be my problem. I can only tell you where it is, or have Uthar Stoneteller here tell you where it is.
That gang, at least that'll pinpoint the location. So we're not just walking around randomly.
Yeah, but Annie was right. We aren't exactly the stealthiest group.
Well, as I said,
Let's hear the plan.
I have a
Plan.
plan.
I'm sure it's fantastic.
So, I'm gonna have one of me runesmiths change your appearance to that of orcs. You'll all look exactly like the green skin suckers.
Then we could really feel how they feel in their
And
skin.
he's gonna give you as a potion to let you speak and understand the orcish tongue. That way, you can sneak in and hopefully figure out how to steal me amulet. Now, you'll still have to act like the blasted orc's mind, so as not to give you tell away or to be truly seen. You understand?
My mother
Of
always
course.
said I was a great method actor. I can't wait.
He says we can give each of you a headband that'll provide a magical foolproof disguise to make you look exactly like an orc for up to 1 week. Then the rune magic will fade. But it'll be more than enough, as the south camp is only 2 days march from here. The potion, says Uthar Stoneteller, that's the dwarf on the throne down here. He says, it's something you may have experienced before. It'll allow you to talk and hear the orcish tongue, but only for 50 minutes, mind. So don't be swigging it too quickly.
So, we'll get to look like an orc, but we can't. We have to be careful when to use this potion at the
You said
exact
it.
right moment.
I thought you said it lasted a week.
Oh, the disguise from the rune on the headband will last for a week.
Talking.
But the
gang,
potion,
don't
the
forget,
potion
I
that will
can-
allow you to understand and speak the orcish tongue, and have a foolproof dialect, may I ask, which it took me a long time to perfect, will only last 50 minutes. So, don't be drinking that until you're close. And once you're close, you best begin about your business as quick as possible. In and out. After all, I can't imagine you'd be wanting to stick around in an orcish community in filth and pig swallow for long.
What if it's nice?
It's not, Annie.
What?
You know that. You have to know that by
You
now.
have to know that by now.
Oh,
I don't think she does.
that's it? Okay. That's the response. Okay. I think it sounds fun.
Well, fun, sure. Dangerous also, highly, but
That's usually
Only if...
sounds how it works.
I mean, it's only dangerous if they somehow discover that you're not what you appear to be.
Yes. To walk in the shoes of an orc. Something that's been on my mind for days.
Literally two.
That's a strange aspiration you have there, lass, but, well, I'm pleased to be able to make one of your, bucket list items come true, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you.
How would the magical disguise work if we were touched in any way?
Well,
Like if an orc wanted to push us, would they push?
no, you look and feel exactly like one of them. As long as you keep the headband on. Don't take the headband off or let it slip from your head.
Are we as strong as them?
Well,
Yes.
your brains and your physicality will be your own. And be very careful what you do that doesn't bring any kind of attention. For example,
Nice things.
you said you were a paladin of Myris. Wouldn't be going around chucking no glowing radiance if I were you, because that'll give you away for a start.
So you mean I'll have to just use my sword?
But as I said, you're going to have to look and act and think like orcs.
you just gotta do orc stuff, Annie.
Do orc stuff, so be really gross and
Gross?
yell a lot.
Yell a lot.
And be mean to each other? Is that what they do?
Yes, they are quite rude and mean to each other. They're
I'd
not a
be
very
the-
supportive group.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be the best orc you've ever seen, don't worry.
I cannot, literally cannot wait.
Cannot.
Can we move the story along quicker so Gore doesn't cut us off? Because I'm gonna need that scene
1
right
second.
now.
I need to do something real fast.
Okay.
What about our weapons?
Well, they look like orc weapons.
Oh, aye. It'll give a some kind of illusion for sure.
Great.
And I mean, you look kinda sort of... Well, Uther, you explain. You understand this rune magic better than I do. Well, the runish magic will attempt to play to your strengths and weaknesses. It'll try to make you your orcish equivalent, I suppose.
So I'm gonna be like a big hot orc?
Probably to another orc, perhaps.
Perfect.
Now I will
watch
suggest
out
one
then.
thing. There are very few
I've got my plan
females
already.
in the orcish community in the south.
We've
Um,
got the plan, Annie.
and if you would
No.
rather avoid
You know what needs to happen, Annie.
potentially being... how do I say this?
You don't need to say it.
You do. Slowly.
If you'd rather not have the advances of the other orcs, I could make sure to tweak the magic to make sure that you at least looked of the male persuasion. It might be a little easier and probably avoid certain other problems.
Yes.
Just as a suggestion, mind, if
Not
you...
only to walk in the shoes of an orc, but to walk in the shoes of a male. Something I've been wanting to do as well.
Oh,
Two
Annie,
bucket
we've
list
got a
items.
lot to talk about later.
What?
Why
because then you'll really know, you know? You can really feel what they're feeling.
What about the female orcs? You don't care about them and what
Of
they
course
go
I
through?
feel about them, but I know what the female experience is like. I don't know what the
I'm not a
male
female
experience
orc,
is like.
apparently. We've got a whole other ballgame to experience.
I suppose I shouldn't compare female humans to female orcs.
Maybe you wouldn't be so sympathetic to the male orcs if you knew how a female orc is treated.
That's
Be
true. Make me
non-binary
a female
orcs.
orc.
No female orcs.
Ah, come on! I want to be a hot orc!
No.
Please!
You could be a hot dude orc.
No, well, will I?
I don't know.
No, I'm
You
looking at
said
the
it.
dwarf again.
Well, as I said, the rune magic, it tends to, do its own thing. I don't exactly know how you'll end up.
You said the equivalent, so I'll be
Aye.
a handsome orc.
Aye, but what you as a human may find attractive and us as dwarves may find attractive may not be the same for orcs, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Ah, so I'll be hideous.
To our eyes, perhaps, but to their eyes, you might be some voluptuous, orcish, beautiful... that's enough of that. Well, how soon can you have the headbands ready? Well, if me and Eastar work on them together, probably by the morn. Right, and the potions? I believe we have some of those in the archives. Well then, I suppose we best put these people up till the morning. What about all these cuts and scrapes that they've got on them? Will those disappear when they become orcs? Oh, I'm afraid not. They'll, still have the signs of battle and wounds. That might not be a bad thing. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes, it's a bad thing, or yes, it's not a bad
No,
thing?
no. Yeah, I guess it's what it needs to be.
Well, I mean, it only looks like you've got a
the
couple of
answer.
scratches and marks. I mean, you're all feeling all right then.
Good question. Well, I'm feeling a little woozy.
Yeah,
I'm barely standing as it happens.
I could use a nice rest.
Well, I mean, for sure we'll put you up in a tavern or a house and let you get a good rest in some comfy dwarven beds and fill your bellies with roasted meats and fresh ale. But
Okay.
I suppose we could also have one of the stone tellers or the... that'll be enough. We'll have a stone teller tend to your wounds if that's what you'd like. It's your choice, really. I mean, we're sending you into danger, so you can either be fully rested for your journey, or if you'd rather keep a few cuts and bruises about you, maybe we can pick and choose some of your lesser injuries and leave those alone.
I think I want to be tip-top.
It's Chewy. Thanks for the cheer, my friend.
Thank you. So just to confirm, if we get you this amulet, you promise tell us the location of the Godstone, and you'll come to the aid of Hillumbridge.
Aye. You have my word. If you bring me the amulet, we will make sure that Hillumbridge does not fall foul to the orcs or anything else within our power. And we'll make sure that, and as he says that, you see Uthar Stoneteller kind of get up and raise a finger and leans in real close, putting his hand over, and he begins to whisper into his ear. I'll let anybody that wants to attempt to eavesdrop this make a listen check. But the dwarf is speaking incredibly quietly.
Right there,
Has a
I'm
huge
gonna
big
try
beard
that.
to
Right
mask
there.
their lips. So you're gonna need a 25. Oh, so
25,
close.
okay.
Oh,
Oh, I'm so close.
Oh.
Here we go.
Can I hear a word? at
I'll
least?
give you something for that.
Oh, yay! Oh!
But Big Ear Cyrano.
Big ears, Cyrano.
Okay.
Cyrano.
So Cyrano, you'll hear everything. And Britannica, you'll hear a few key words. Probably not enough to fully understand it, but maybe enough to at least get a rough gist of what's going on. He says,
I can aid them in being able to find the Godstone, but I don't know myself exactly where it is, so be careful what you promise. All right. But I mean, you do have some information of value for them. Oh, absolutely. We can certainly help them find it, but it'll take a little bit more finagling than just flat out telling them where it is. Fair enough.
and we will make sure to assist ye in finding your black stone.
Fantastic. May we have a quick sidebar just to confirm with the group?
Sidebar.
Sidebar.
Sure, like a small little huddle right over here.
Oh, you mean you want to go off in the corner and whisper like a pack of thieves? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you
No,
just...
we'll stay right here. We'll stay right in front.
Oh, then by all means, go right ahead.
Sure. Right, huddle in, guys.
Okay.
As you huddle in, you notice that the two dwarves sitting in the chairs both go and lean forward and tilt their heads to try to eavesdrop you.
Are you guys as hungry as I am at right now?
Are you huddled? I don't see you huddled.
I feel like
Well,
I'm very woozy. I'm gonna fall over.
Okay, hey, real quick, gang. They do not know where the Godstone is.
What?
Yeah,
They don't know. They don't know for sure. I just heard them. They kind of know the area. They don't know for sure. But it's
They have
something
an idea.
they have an idea. I just want to let you know.
Let me get this straight, Cyrano. You overheard them.
My arms are getting tired.
And then you decided to tell us you overheard them in front of them.
They can't. I'm talking so quiet they can't hear me.
But you overheard them.
Let's peek.
Okay, we're back in it.
But you overheard them so they could overhear us.
Well,
They
no,
absolutely
please.
could.
They're not. They don't have. They're not.
hearing each other. There's
They're
no
not.
secrets.
They're
But
not
there's-
big in your Cyrano. Okay. We're talking very quiet. You see.
Yeah, they're talking so quietly, but now they're definitely.
I'm really not talking that quiet.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Like my.
You absolutely are.
Absolutely are.
Look, I'm just hungry. Can we get
Okay.
this?
So do you
go?
not care at all about what I just told you, or?
It's more information than we had yesterday.
Okay. I again just wanted to be on the up and up. Gentlemen, I'll pop up from the. We humbly accept your proposal.
Yes. Well, excellent. Then all you need to do is take your right hand and place it on the anvil and swear to do the job that we've talked about.
Oh,
Sure.
I already sweared it to my god. No worries.
Is it hot? I don't like hot things.
Oh, no, not at all. The glowing orange sigils there won't hurt you at all. It's just something that here at Irantor, it's kind of like you humans do with swearing on your religious books and such when you make a pledge.
Oh.
How would that affect
Sure.
those of us who have faith?
No, not
We are
at all.
beholden to another
No,
God.
you're not. It's not a godly thing. No, it's a dwarven thing.
So what happens if we're not successful?
Success is not the problem. It's
We
the
probably
intent
die.
that'll matter.
Yes, if we're not successful, we are dead.
Well, just want to know what happens if we don't fulfill your request.
Well, you see, what'll happen is if in any way you're not being true with your intentions, well, it'll flare up, and all of us here in the hall will know that you're a lying welcher and you tend to not fulfill your promise and keep your word. And I, of course, will do the same. So if you're not true and you have no intentions of helping us, and you're just gonna tell us what we want to hear and scurry away out of the hall and down the mountain and be gone, then you best be coming clean now before you look like a fool when you touch the amulet. I mean the anvil.
We would never withhold valuable information on a discussion such as this, my friend.
Right, and neither we will.
Of course not. Of
Right
course
then.
not.
See, look, and I'm gonna touch the anvil. I promise, I am a woman of my word. That's it.
And you
I
promise
will
you'll
get
make
the
every effort to reclaim the amulet for...
The amulet and as I'm touching. And yeah, and then you'll tell us where the Godstone is, and then you'll help heal Umbridge. I promise.
Right. Well, I'll go next. And he walks over and places his big right hand on the stone. He goes, I swear, me being Brawn Heavyhand, Lord of the Halls of Irintor, will defend the village of Hillumbridge from orcs and other vile creatures to the best of our ability, and we will do everything within our power to aid thee in finding your black stone. You have my word.
That was so heartfelt.
Right, next. What about you? You little fella.
I assume you're pointing to me.
Not that I mean to cast aspersions, but I absolutely mean to cast aspersions when I say, of any here, you seem to possibly be the least straightforward. You do tend to mince a lot of words around in a big bucket and throw them out as, let's just have your word.
He hates you.
You have my word. And then I step backwards.
Super no.
Let's be more specific. Have your word
Yes,
that
I
you're
know,
gonna...
I'm just
way I did
kidding.
it. Gee,
Are you
how I did
kidding? Thought I'd bring a little bit of brevity to this stone room.
If you haven't
A stone-
figured it out yet, not a lot of brevity here in
Yes,
this chamber.
Yes, of course.
Just in height.
Cyrano de Young, Lord and Savior of the group of sun-kissed heroes, do solemnly swear to uphold the righteousness and the to uphold the righteousness of the group and the endeavors henceforth noted
glows
as
wildly.
bringing the amulet back from on low of the mountain to on high to the Lord Brawn. And I shall,
God.
with all my honor and heart and human spirit, which was previously mentioned,
For the 5th time now, yes.
for the 5th time now, so you know I mean it, I will, to the best of my ability, do unto thee as they are do unto I. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Very well. Good speech, that.
How's that for mincing words, huh?
No, I can tell you, I can tell you took that oath very seriously.
I very much did. Thank you very much for noticing.
Right, so that just leaves the two of you then.
I'm gonna just look at Alekba.
Your
and just
two
like,
long
should we-
shanks, as it were.
Should we just keep this short and sweet?
Please.
And then in tandem, we're both going to say it together.
Do it together.
Ready?
I dare you to try.
Go.
I, Britannica,
I Elekma Valukanathi.
swear. You have to do it at the
No,
same
same
time.
time,
as me,
same
Alekma.
time.
I don't know what she's gonna say exactly.
Exactly. Yes, that's the point. Come on.
Swear to honor.
you, honor you,
Just
dwarf
go.
king. No, it has to be you too.
I will go after you. Just please get this over with.
I'll do it. I'll do it with you. I'll do it again. Can I do it,
No.
can I do it again?
You said enough. We swear to you
Swear
that
to
we will
you
bring
that we
the
will bring
amulet
the amulet back
to you,
to you
safe and
in
sound,
one safe and sound,
and
and
you will help.
you will help
Umbridge
us, Robert,
and show us
and
where
show
the
us
big
where the
black rock
Godstone is.
Wow, so good, guys. Congrats.
I, Elekma Valukanathi, swear to bring the amulet from the orc encampment to the south, and
I mean,
as
I
per our
basically
agreements,
said that, Alekma.
and in exchange for you helping the village and guiding us to the Godstone. And I'm sorry for these two.
Thank
No
you.
more good berries for them.
Who's two?
This I promise.
Me?
You're good berries were too tart anyways. I said it.
Only Annie and you lovely dwarves will receive such a bounty if so.
Lekma, I was trying to help you.
Lekma.
I'm just gonna step back.
Don't worry, I'll just steal the good berries. It's fine. You'll never know.
Okay.
Well, are you satisfied?
Hey, did we level up from that, Gore?
Like we should have.
No, I'm just
Except for
making a
Alekma.
note. I'm just making a little note of the fact that Alekma swore on the dwarven anvil that he's not going to give any good berries to Britannica or Cyrano.
Alekma, no! What have you done?
I meant it too.
So the question is, if you meant it, then nothing happened. If you didn't mean it, then the dwarven anvil would have gone like bright red and gone. Psh.
No, I absolutely meant it.
Okay, then we're all good.
Cut off.
Right then, we'll make a vacant home available for you, and you can be off and have yourself a good night. We'll make sure that somebody brings you plenty of pie and beef and ale and all that you could want.
Beef and ale.
Aye.
That sounds fantastic.
Hot baths, comfortable beds, and our stone tellers will take care of those that wish their wounds to be tended to. So, if you're feeling the need to be a little blessed by the dwarven god Muradin, come forth, and our stone tellers will heal you of what ails you.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll take a
So
step
basically, they'll heal. The two of them have got enough healing that they can heal all of you back to full, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
If any of you wishes to keep any bumps, bruises, scratches, just decide how many hit points worth you don't want to heal and leave those off and just tell me. Terra Pixels,
One
thanks for
hit
the
point for a slight scratch on my arm, right here.
cheer. Okay, so you're going to be down 1 hit point, Annie.
Yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
the second you rest, you're gonna go away.
You'll rest, you wake up in the morning and go,
Like,
It's,
no!
Oh,
it's just
crap.
for tonight.
She recuts it just
yeah, in the morning you
Oh
just
my
have to
God.
scratch really hard, like it itches. Pick all the scabs off.
I want full. I'm not
Okay,
doing
yep, you get them all.
any scratches.
Watch
Cyrano,
that one might be the
there
death.
was the
Right.
third thing, if you recall, about the girlfriend. You did offer to,
Well, shut up about that, because that was just a way to get in here.
but it'd be of our word to it, too.
That, my friend, was a lie.
Yes! I never swore about that on the anvil, so we're good as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah, the anvil didn't go red, so we're good.
I just think it would be of use here.
I'm gonna say, why would we? Who cares about that? She wants to sleep around. Let her sleep around.
You say that out loud?
No, I mean yes, but to you, and not like yelling it.
Okay.
Not
So
our problem.
I'm gonna walk up to him and go, okay. So I'm thinking maybe like a little bruise here, just to really show that I can mix it up. Sort of maybe like a scar from like here to here. Just I think that kind of be a cool aesthetic look. But just those two things, and I'm gonna keep 5 hit points off Gore,
Okay, all right.
which is
So yeah, you look a little, rough and tumbled.
Okay.
That's most
of
of your
my
hit
say
points,
no.
isn't it? So
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah. So that's thank you. Ah, wonderful. Thank you.
all right, okay. Right then, that's settled. We'll fetch you in the morning. I'll have one of my guards take you to your house. Is there anything else that you need or want from me before you retire? Any special requests?
I don't think so.
You have a menu or a list?
Oh,
I really wanted to say maybe your wife can come visit me, but I didn't. I didn't say it. I'm just saying
Not yet.
if I did.
Oh my god.
This is not a list as such, but, I mean, if there's anything you can think of, any particular delicacies that you might like to eat, or particular types of drink other than home-brewed dwarven ale, if there is such a thing that's better than that.
Ooh, I want that.
Oh, make sure you've got plenty of that, to be sure.
What is it?
Just homemade dwarven ale, he said.
It's a lot
No,
stronger than that piss that the
Something better.
you humans drink, that's for sure.
All right.
Okay, so we'll see you in the morning then.
Right, no problem. We'll have our guards see you out. Farewell, and, good luck, and that's what you humans say, isn't it? Good luck.
What do you say?
You're fucked. No, he says, a dwarven greeting would be, may your hammer arm stay strong.
Yes.
Excellent.
Howdy, you two, brother.
Well, off you go.
Exactly.
Alright, well, we're going to take a quick break there, because that's about perfect. Kick back in, then. Here we go. Alright, guys.
Sass. Oh.
Yeah, so you guys are going to spend a comfortable night being fed, watered, ailed. As I said, hot water for baths, comfortable beds to sleep in. And the first decent night's sleep you've had in a little while, so... and certainly, unless anybody feels paranoid, and wants to...
I'll take watch.
I was going to say, probably can actually all get a good night's sleep. So there you go.
Hooray.
All right.
Take my spell.
Alrighty. So, the following morn, you're fetched and brought back to the Lord's Hall. And there's a small chest sitting on the table directly in front of the anvil.
Oh, okay.
I'll start walking up to it.
Okay. So, the runesmith is standing, the stone teller is standing next to it. Right then, as he lifts up the lid, he goes, "One for you." And he hands Alekma a vial about yay big.
Thank you.
And one for you. Catch!
Oh, sorry.
One for you, and one for you.
Thank you.
Right, now, as I said, once you quaff these, they'll last for 5 minutes. And 5 minutes is all. After that, you may be able to speak the Orcish tongue or understand it. But I'm sure that'll be plenty of time to do what you need to do. Now, here's your headbands. So, let's try these out, shall we?
Okay.
I'm ready, and I just kind of bent down, ready to get my crown.
All right, as soon as you volunteered, okay, he walks over and places the band on your head. So each band, it looks like kind of like a simple leather band that goes on your head. On the front, there's like a little metal plate, and then there is a rune that's been stamped and carved onto it. As soon as you put it on, for a brief second, everybody sees the rune kind of go like in light. And instead of Britannica standing here, did you say you did want to be female? Or no?
No.
Alright.
Nobody wants me to.
There's Britannica with a big ass axe. That's what you look like, Orcish.
Oh, can you blow him up for me?
If I can remember the command.
It's okay if not.
Is it Control Z?
It looks amazing. I'll just get really close to the screen.
Hang on.
Cool.
I don't have my glasses.
It's good content. Good content.
Yeah, this
Z
is
does
good
it. I'm
stuff.
trying to remember if it shifts. There's a
That's what
there's
I'm
a
going
key.
for, baby.
It's been a while since I've done it. There's a key that I can do that actually blows it up and shows you
It's
on your
okay.
screen. But
Don't worry about it.
yeah. But that's what you look like there for chat.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
Wow. Good job, Britannica. You look like.
Well, if I'm next to Britannica, I'll just
Wow.
I'll
Can I do it?
Yeah.
lean my head forward.
All right.
Me, I guess.
He pops it on your forehead,
Tiny little work.
and
Oh.
roll 20s being strange. Hold on.
I see it.
Yeah, but I've got a weird swirling circle trapped on my screen now.
I see.
Oh.
What is that?
There we go. I got rid of it. Okay, there you are. Looking all skullduggerous with twin blades.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Alekma is
Alright.
next.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Oh, I'm doing it again. Okay, Alekma. You're going to look like this. That's actually an arrow, but I didn't have one with a spear, so just imagine that's a spear instead, but it'll do.
Got it. That's cool.
Hair so long, Alec.
Because you like to throw things and shoot things, so it's close enough, right?
Makes sense. I dig it.
And then, last but not least, we need an Annie orc.
Look at us.
And there's an Annie orc.
Look at my shield.
Look at it,
Oh.
so cute.
All right, so
Every little orc on it.
you guys should all have. I think you've got control over those.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
do.
good.
Yep.
You can see everybody. You can see everybody around the hall kind of getting a little uneasy and awkward. As Brawn Heavyhands
I'm
says,
flexing.
"Well,
How's it look?
those disguises are definitely pretty authentic. I'll say that much."
How do I sound?
Okay, so yeah. You guys are going to have to put on your best orc accents and your orc voices,
the idea that
because that's how
you-
you're going to sound.
That is fine with me. I think
So that's how you're going to sound, is how you sound.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, if you want to do your best orc warrior voice, Jane Ivana, that's how your orc's going to sound.
How do I sound?
Oh, very good.
Cyrano sounds exactly the same. Oh, hi, I'm
Maybe
Orc Irino.
Well, I'll do a voice when the time comes for it, okay?
All right.
I just haven't decided if I actually want to do a real one or a funny one. We'll figure that out later.
So he's like,
Prepared.
right then. Well, you're all set.
Off we go.
Now, when you leave here, you'll find the river and the bridge. He said, which way did you come? Did you kind of come up through the pass and over the bridge, or did you come up by the river?
we took the bridge.
Ashaf, thanks for the resub, my friend. Much love. 16 months. Take your pants off it. The hype.
Came. We went through this long, windy path, and then there was a river, and we crossed the bridge.
Ah, right, so you came up the pass. Right, so when you get down to the river, you're going to want to take a right and follow the water itself.
Okay.
Couple of hours in, you'll find another pass. A deep, winding pass to the south. You're going to want to take that. Now, stick tight to it, mind, because as you head down through that part, well, us dwarves don't venture down south, so, nasty beasties and other unpleasant things are a little bit more brave and tend to venture out a little more. But, of course, you'll be looking like orcs. So, perhaps some of them might be allies and won't beat you to a bloody pulp or chew you up and spit you out. But we can see. But anyway, good luck. Bring my amulet back.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I assume we take these headbands off when we leave. We're...
I wouldn't be wandering around outside in the main common area if I were you, looking like that. The guards may not take kindly, as may not the local citizens here in Irantor. I definitely make sure you get yourself down at least past the river before you pop them back on your heads.
Okay.
Alright.
Take mine off.
I figured I'd just write a little name tag like, "Hi, I'm Cyrano." They'd
Yeah.
understand, but that's
In really bad handwriting.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess I take mine off and
Yeah, I'll take mine off too.
until we get out.
Same.
Okay, alright.
We're gonna leave the city and go.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move you guys. Let me move you off of this map with these little orky fellows. Bye, orky fellows. Okay, so yeah, you guys are going to head back out into Irantor. And of course, you look like your super handsome, attractive, fetching selves. Okay, is there anything any of you want to acquire from Irantor before you leave out?
Yes.
Weapon.
It's only, as I said, it's a 2-day trek. You've got, even if you want to look like orcs coming back, you still got 2 or 3 days of leeway, so there's no, like, it's not like you have to leave this second.
Yes, our weapons. I assume we got those.
And he says, I wonder what this potion tastes like.
I want to get like a extra bag of just food and beer and stuff.
Okay.
Because I've got to give it to that graybeard bastard. Like I said I would.
That's
So
funny.
nice.
Maybe carry a keg, with another bag of the other goodies.
Alright.
And
Yep, no problem.
buy it up, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
would
basic
say-
stuff, basic food, ale, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They'll give
guys.
you. They won't take money for it.
If orcs were to plunder this place, what would they take?
An ass whooping.
Or Hillenburg?
Something of value, obviously.
Would they
Would
take
they?
food, or would they take gold pieces? Bring back ale?
Do they care about that sort of thing? Like,
I don't know. I thought maybe we could pretend like we just got back from Hillenburg with a big bag of loot.
It's not a bad idea, but then we have to carry all of it.
And we have to go back there, which we're not. It's a different route.
well, we'll just say that it's from there, I believe was what she meant, Alekma.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Why don't we each just grab an extra, stash of rations and say that we found some people on the road while we were scouting and stole their stuff.
Ooh,
Great.
yes.
And here we go, and we'll share our bounty.
Okay, then I'll purchase all that. Make
Great.
sure we have a bag of seemingly somebody's gear and food.
Yes, a rucksack of extra loot.
Yes.
Rucksack.
Like on a stick, you know?
Yeah, with a little white,
You know,
red,
yeah.
and polka dot
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
handkerchief.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we go.
And then we go.
Then we go.
And then we go.
And now we go.
And then we go. Okay. Alright, so you're basically taking ample food and drink and stuff like that, enough for the dwarf. And specifically, what sort of stuff are you wanting to take for your loot?
An adventurer's pack, right?
Okay, so
We
not
killed a
like
couple
real loot, but
And maybe
Yeah.
a couple gold. I'll throw a couple gold coins in there.
Yeah,
like-
some
Okay.
level 1 weapons, a white or a gray item.
Say we came across a
Some
couple of
meat.
dwarves. Yeah, we
Yeah.
came across a couple of dwarves.
Maybe a
and we killed
green
them,
just to,
you know?
mix it up.
You know, like a wooden sword,
Okay.
a toy bow.
incidentally, your
um,
weapons,
a slingshot.
they'll point out that
weapons.
your weapons, if you're holding those when you put the hat piece on, your weapons will look like orcish weapons as well.
Yes.
All right.
Sweet.
Okay, so
We're
you
off.
gather all your worldly belongings and head out, back down the hallway, and out into the daylight, where you will be coming across the foothills. And let me move you guys.
Oh.
I was moving you and you moved yourself. Okay. Yeah, so you guys are kind of coming back out, heading back down past the watchtower. As you kind of walk out, they peer over and look down at you. May your hammer arm be strong.
Good luck.
I'm gonna keep my eyes open for the graybeard guy
Okay.
as I'm walking.
So I'll move down.
He said he'd be somewhere in these foothills. I'm gonna be looking up.
I don't see
Nope.
him yet. Are you sure he's just not going to just bail on you?
All right, as you kind of start getting down to this area, over to your right, kind of a little bit up, you hear psst, psst. And then a small stone comes flying down and, like, bounces off of Annie's shield.
Ow!
Not more flying stones from hills.
I'm gonna look up.
No.
Is this a troll?
Oh, it's him, the fornicator.
Right, popping out from
Oh, Jesus.
popping out from behind a bush up on that ledge, you see Sean appear with his eyes wide open.
So, how did it go?
Fantastic. Look at this. And I.
Oh, don't!
Are you gonna orc up?
Oh,
Okay, you do that, and Sean goes,
Mornington's name, what the hell?
and then from behind you hear the other two tower guards start bellowing and screaming, "Ah, intruders! Intruders!"
Oh, no! And I'm gonna take the head back.
They saw.
It's nothing.
Yes, you saw us leave.
You saw her put it on her head.
Aye, I'll handle this, lad. But
Here we go.
how do we know you're not orcs in disguise as humans and that whatever that grey thing is?
Look! I brought you a keg of the good stuff with some food and rations. And I'm gonna place it right down here by this.
Okay, well Sean looks at you and goes,
I know you're not orcs.
He was the tower guards
Yeah,
there.
the other
yeah.
guy.
He goes,
Don't worry about. He goes, don't worry about
just
them.
Don't care.
"Oh, they're not orcs, you stupid sons of bitches. They're
That's runesmith magic, that. Incidentally,
Runesmith.
why did they send you out? Why did Brawn Heavyhands send you out with the guise of a worthless orc greenskin?
Just some personal business.
Oh well, hang on a second. Let me get down.
No.
well, will you see him go wandering off? Do you want to wait for him, or are y'all just going to book it?
I'd like to just keep going.
I would start. Now we're fine. We need to get going. Good
Yep.
day.
No big deal. Enjoy your salute. Bye.
All right, okay. So yeah, you guys are all going to just kind of...
It's right here by the bush.
Okay. All right. In that case, and I really ought to clean this map up too before I put you on it, which I think I already did, but there you are, and I'll just swing you around. Alrighty. And eventually you'll find yourselves heading back down the hill towards
Woo!
the bridge and the river.
Awesome.
Okay.
Do you think we should put the orc disguises on now?
Probably, because
Didn't you
there's
say?
no. Yeah, there's no dwarf patrols. They're
Wait,
just
what?
holed up in their mountain.
Where's Sean?
Nope.
Did you
We
give him
left-
the stuff?
I left
Yeah,
him. Well,
we
yeah.
left him.
Ah. Great. I'm gonna put on my headband.
Were,
You were right there when we ditched
weren't
him.
you leading the charge for the ditching, Annie?
I was really busy.
Okay.
Were you?
I thought I was
Alright.
ditching the
Let
gods.
me swap
not
you guys
Sean.
out then. Hold on.
You ditched Sean. Oh no.
Wait.
Y'all stand
We
still.
wanted to talk
Let
to him
me
for
swap
20
you.
minutes.
Leave
Stand
your
still.
bag up there.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm
sorry.
okay.
You stop moving.
I didn't touch it. I stopped.
No, I'm trying to pick you guys up so I can replace you with orcs.
Sorry. I don't want to be an orc.
I don't want to be an orc.
I think he said if once we got to the river, we'd be safe to change, right?
There you go.
It's the river.
Then here we are.
All right,
It's
orkies.
so bright. I feel like I'm going to attract attention.
Maybe that's the point. Don't orcs kind of like that?
I'm not trying to
Orcs are
get
exhibitionists.
attention right now.
They just kind of stomp around. They don't really sneak or.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, yeah,
this.
if you remember that orc party came up pretty quietly on you guys a few days ago.
Well, not her. I mean, she's not a sneaky orc.
They're
Come
all
on, you
predators. Think of like tigers. They're big, scary animals. But when they see that gazelle in the tall weeds, and they start slinking through that grass,
Uh huh.
and then they get then they do this little move, you know,
Don't do that.
Well, they do that little move.
when they're
You're
getting ready
right.
to pounce. So my point being is that
Shoulder
you can
shimmy.
be a stealthy killing machine. It's my point.
Okay, well, not with a bright red shield is my point, but
I do think we should test something before we go any further.
Uh-huh.
what is that?
What are your wings like?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Like,
Well, here's the
you
thing.
Can't?
No.
Orc wings?
Maybe no. Okay, maybe you just shouldn't use the wings.
I'm gonna try it. What happens?
Well, they kind of shoot out, but they're like big, gnarly black crow's wings. All kind of
Guys,
matted and mottled.
I'm never going back.
Okay, admittedly, that while that is very cool,
Super
definitely
cool.
don't want to be garnering that sort of attraction.
Yeah, if you
There's
would
not
let me be
that
a
many
female-
winged orcs that you're aware of.
Exactly. it's sort of attention we do not want to have.
Could you
Like you told
imagine
me
if
to not do my little flashy flashes in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
flashy flashes.
Obviously, only do that in an emergency. Like if
Sure.
we, you know.
yes. It's good to know I still have access as an orc. at
Little
least.
things we might be able to pawn off as parlor tricks or something. Sprouting crow wings is something that it's not going to be easily
I'm
explained
gonna
away.
flap them. I'm like, this is so
Yeah.
cool though.
That
Look.
is very cool. It's pretty cool.
Okay, fine. I put them away.
Well, the good news is, yeah, just about all your abilities will work in your orcish forms, but they will also be very visible. You know, so
Nasty.
yeah, they won't just seamlessly just happen. You won't just suddenly see her float up into the air. Okay.
That'd be so cool.
We are going to keep going.
All right. Which way do you wish to go?
Well, he said right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but which way are you going?
Yes,
Into the
so
river?
right at the river.
Right.
And follow the river.
Yeah. So basically, the river kind of cuts its way through the mountains. So there's no real path either side of the river to follow. You've either got to kind of like move along precariously along the edge of the slope, which you can do, but it's a little slow going, or you get your feet wet.
Well, if it's not deep, I'll just get my feet wet.
It's not like right at the very edge. It's not that deep. No.
Oh, so that's the other question I have. How tall does Alekma and Britannica?
Oh yeah.
Because
You
are we-
you
Are we
two
big
are
boys?
slightly taller than the other two, but you are all of orcish kind of height.
Okay.
You're all
So-
kind of.
Height.
You guys are probably like 6'3", 6'4". Annie's probably around 6 foot, and Cyrano's maybe 5'11".
Oh,
Oh.
Not quite.
He's a little short for an orc, but then he's also more of a scouty type orc, so
uh-huh.
he's more sinewy.
We're gonna take the slower path along the river's edge.
Okay, all right.
Speaking of which, should the scouty orc be ahead of us?
That's where I'm
perhaps?
going. Yes, that's where our marching party would be.
Yes,
So you're basically gonna put yourselves in your normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okie dokie. All right. So yeah, traveling away for the first day, traveling away from the dwarven settlement, the dwarves do a pretty good job of keeping most things away from here. Like, many sinister things know better than to come too close to Irantor. Dwarves are not known to be very tolerant of unpleasant things. Now, of course, the bearded devil and his underminions being a bit of a exception to the rule, but then they were not necessarily, obviously, from around these here parts anyway. They were from way further south, proverbially. So, the first day pretty much goes uneventful. Now, even though you have orcish eyes, it is visibly just a physical disguise, so your vision hasn't gotten any better or any worse. So if you can see in the dark, you can still see in the dark. If you couldn't before,
Hey.
you can't now.
Haha.
So what do you guys want to do? Once it gets pretty dark, up here in the mountains, I mean, it does get fairly black dark because, of course, lots of ominous rock walls and stuff either side. But as I said, before we get to that point, after a few hours of traveling to the west, you do see a cut in the rocks to the south that is obviously the pass that they told you to take. So you're probably already on your way down that by the time it gets dark.
I think when it gets too dark for the majority of us to see, we should stop. Because orcs with torches make no sense. It kind of gives us away, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Well, considering orcs can all see clearly, yeah. Okay.
These orcs are weird. They need light. What's going on here?
All right, so you guys are going to set up a camp. Are we lighting a fire and grilling some meat, or are we going to just huddle up? Remember, it gets cool up here at night, but not freezing. As long as you got some blankets and bedrolls and stuff like that, you don't necessarily need a fire for warmth. Of course, it'd be a hell of a lot more comfortable if you do have it.
Yeah, I take out my weighted blanket and lie under it.
I have my heat pad.
Unfortunately,
Don't laugh so hard.
the power outlets are different in this
It's a-
country.
It's a
It doesn't
battery
fit.
pack.
Instead of the 3 prongs, there's 4, and it's
Oh, orcish plugs are so different.
Just need to think, fill a sack with rice and heat the rice up. It would be like
Yeah, I'll put it in the microwave that I brought also. What do you guys think? Should we make a camp and just act like what
Normal.
orcs would do? Right?
That's what orcs would do. So
That's
right.
what orcs would do.
So this is what it's like.
Yeah, how are you feeling, Annie? Are you
Yes.
feeling in tuned?
Walking around, setting up camps, it's so different.
Is it?
Sure.
except it's exactly the same, man.
I feel like we've done a lot of
feel
orky stuff yet.
Different. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
I just
Good.
before we turn in for the night, Annie, I worry that we're going to infiltrate this village, and you're going to start talking agriculture and.
Well,
Farming.
what I was saying is, why doesn't everyone just be quiet and maybe resort more to grunts than anything
Yes.
else?
I thought
Yeah.
I thought about that, and
And again, I
think
can speak Orcish.
Yeah, I think we should
It's
save
true.
our drinks until we absolutely need them and let Cyrano do the talking.
So
that's
I
why
would
already
say
put
if you
mine
can
in my
speak, so
water
you,
container.
Oh,
Good.
no. Oh,
Are you
Cyrano,
guys
you do speak
mistakenly?
fluid Orcish already?
I do.
Okay,
Right?
then you
Didn't we
obviously are
establish
very
that?
familiar with Orcish
Yes.
culture, at least
I do.
in Arconis.
Yes.
So making assumptions, yeah, I mean, he'd know the orcs are very basic, very tribal, very rough, very rugged. They respect only strength. And, you know, I mean, he could at least educate any of you that are unfamiliar with the ways of what he would expect. If orcs are the same here as they are in Arconis, this is how orcs are. They're rough, they're rugged, they're very basic, they don't speak very eloquently, very guttural speaking language. They have very kind of rudimentary names.
So we don't have to do a lot of talking anyway, right, Cyrano?
No, really, especially with you two, and I'll point to Alekma and Britannica. You wanna use your physicality. Let do the talking.
Oh, okay. So I want to smack my muscles a lot.
Smack a lot of muscles.
Okay.
If you take some of the fat from the meat tonight and just lather yourself up real good, get yourself a nice sheen going.
Got it. Oil up. Check.
Oil up. Oh, that'll make those muscles really pop.
What are some common orc phrases that maybe you can teach us while we're having a little rest here?
Well, again, I don't think you should be saying much.
No,
but of course, you could always say
speak
Oshlagun, which is cool hair dude, man.
That is one. I would
teach us a couple basics to not have to use the drink, like yes, no, basics.
Well, again, yes, you could just like.
Okay.
No, you could just.
All right.
See?
Anything else that we should know about?
Yes, Zug Zug is very commonly used in Orcish language.
I think I've heard of that before.
Zug Zug is sort of an agreeance. It's sort of it's what you do when you comply.
If you concur with something, you say Zug Zug.
Okay.
Zug Zug.
Of course. Of course.
Is there a way? I hear Brian laughing in the other room. Is there a way that they greet each other? Are we to fight? Are we to posture? What's the best approach?
Yes, that's the only one I'm going to use, I promise, because there's a whole well I could go down here. And... so Gorov, knowing, would it be, because Matt doesn't know this, I'm sure they don't shake hands. Do they have some cool, like, just where they kind of, like, hit each other? Or, yeah, like, is there a physical greeting that orcs do?
Yeah, orcs are more about posturing and stuff like that, so...
Yeah, the physicality of
it.
Yeah,
when one orc meets another orc, I mean, if they're friendly, if they're friends with each other, if orcs really have friends, because their social circle is very much more non-civilized and aggressive, they're more likely to shove each other and things like that aggressively. If it's orcs that they haven't met before, they tend to bow up and try to look bigger and badder than the real primitive kind of show of strength. Like, I'm bigger than you and stronger than you, so you will, concede to me, sort of thing.
Yeah, really, just, again, anything you can convey physically, that's sort of their communication. That's their love language, physicality.
They want us to be aggressive. The more, the better, right?
Well, yes, obviously not to get in fights, but just more think of a territorial animal.
Okay.
Like how,
There you go, orc peacocks. Roleplay the shit out of that. That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of peacocking goes on, but in a very guttural and ugly sense.
We are trying not to draw attention to ourselves.
Right.
Obviously, respond if you feel like something is trying to peacock over you.
Yes, because if they smell blood, everyone's coming for you.
Okay. So
if you just respond quickly and firmly, that usually will. It sounds backwards, but I promise you, it will usually defuse the situation.
Worst case scenario, backhand smack Cyrano, because we're bigger than he is.
Perfect. So we make him our little plaything.
Well, here's the problem.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, here's the problem with that. Because I speak the language, I'm probably going to be the mouthpiece for the group, i.e. the leader, probably.
Oh, great.
So...
Well, now, again, in Orcish society, the biggest and strongest would naturally always be leader.
Sure.
Right.
But I just mean more so the fact of...
Here's what you are. You could be the servant of one of these two tall ones.
I like
Oh,
that way better.
To you.
My
Wonderful.
servant.
them.
Alexa.
We could still slap you around.
Oh,
You
great.
have to act a little timid because you're small.
Yeah, and we're making
Sure.
you do the talking for us because we're too important to.
You could
Okay,
be like one
well-
of those Weasley little orcs that keeps appearing from behind their leg and muttering words, looking up approvingly.
I guess we could go with the exact opposite plan that I had in my mind, but sure. that
I mean, we're
works.
just trying to go with orc culture, right?
You're right. You know what? See,
you'll be
I've
my
taught
slave?
you well. I've taught you well. I will find some sort of solace in that by itself.
Okay, great. So I'll be the leader and you'll be the slave boy.
Well, okay, well.
From slave boy, or from Christmas boy to slave boy.
Slave boy.
You're my little chatty orc,
I'm your little Mr. Slave.
and we're all the warriors, and you're
Be
just
my
a lowly little
love
squire.
Well, well, never mind.
I'm going to try to go to sleep.
This is going
I'll
to
make
be
sure we have our
interesting.
backstory ready.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, if that a thing you want to come up with, or are you just
Yes,
going
what's
to?
our orc names?
What are you thinking, Annie?
Oh, well, let's
Yeah,
see.
you're
What's
sort
the
of
name
the
of the
namer.
one?
Do you? Yeah.
What
Do
was the
either
name?
of you
Was it
remember the
Grimdark
names of the two
Claw?
orcs that were mentioned to you back up in
One was called,
Irantor?
like, Nutbutt?
Nutbutt and Grimdark Deathclaw or something. So I can be, sun, sunface,
Sunkiss fruit pouch.
sunface, yellow back.
I was
That really
totally.
sounds scary, Annie.
I was-
Sunface, yellow back.
I was
Scary.
oh my god! I was totally expecting Jane to say taser face.
Taser face.
Taser face.
I'm not sure about that one, Annie.
Taser face.
Yeah, that sounds like it shouldn't be okay.
It sounds like it could be racist, maybe.
What's wrong with that?
It just doesn't sound very intimidating. You need something like
Okay.
death or butt or.
So I could put sun.
I'm sorry, butt is intimidating?
Well, that other guy only had nut butt, so I'm just.
Well,
I don't know.
So sun death.
There you go.
Razor blade.
Sun Death Razor Blade. Sounds like a Bronx gang member.
Sounds like a computer.
Sun Death Razor
Okay.
Blade. Perfect.
Sun Death Razor
Cyrano?
Blade.
I gotta write these names down.
You're the offspring of a tanning product and a computer peripheral.
Cyrano, what about you?
Me? Why don't you call me Vlog?
Vlog.
Mhm.
Simple
Vlog.
Short-
Vlog the slave.
vlog.
So if you want to add your own
I'm
flavor
adding
to it,
that.
I guess that's fine.
I'm adding that title just so
Vlog
we
the
know. Vlog
Vlog the Wonderful.
the slave.
Oh,
Okay. Alekma? Just want
I,
to go by Alekma because that sounds kind of orky already.
I was thinking like mud, you know.
Mud with 2 D's like the G.
Sure.
oh, I was thinking 3Ds.
Oh, 3 D's.
Mud.
Triple D.
Mud.
Mud.
I'm gonna call you
Mud.
Triple D.
Mud.
Mud.
Okay.
Mud. Vlog. Sun Death Razor Blade.
Okay, hold on. Was yours a sun? Okay, hold on.
Nothing sounds scarier than the death of the sun.
The K in mud is silent.
Nothing sounds scarier than the death of the sun. All right.
So you've all got your orc names.
Well, not yet.
Okay. I think mine will be Blood Butt Murder X.
Blood, butt, murder, axe.
Okay.
All right, you guys remember these things.
Oh, we are.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
All right, okay. So for your little encampment, now bear in mind you're a good day away from the orc settlement to the south at this point. You're just in the chasm. The one thing you've noticed that the walls in this chasm are very, very high and very, very steep. So there's not really anywhere to go except north or south. So if you guys are kind of looking, you'll be able to find like a little small outcrop in the rocks, a little recess that you can kind of like all huddle up in to get out of the pure line of sight. And so you do you wish to have a fire or no?
No.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
don't
we were.
orcs normally have fires?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're just gonna act.
I want to do as the orcish do.
Yeah, Annie, we have to be orc-like.
Yes.
So we will make a fire and we will roast little dead things on it. And
Yes.
we will eat it straight
Cute.
from it.
Cute dead things,
Yes.
like an orc would do.
Like an orc would do.
We gotta rip it with our teeth. Right?
All right.
Yes, and mash it with our hands.
And grunt a lot and smear it everywhere.
And get
Yes.
mad at each other for taking too much. I'm like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
my piece.
Oh, and growl at each other.
All right.
This is good. This is good stuff.
I'm really starting to feel the vibe of this.
Yes.
Yeah. We're getting into it.
I'm sorry, but what Brian just said in chat has to have this.
What?
Oh, that's real good.
Oh no.
What did he say?
This is for
Oh,
you,
no.
Flanzig.
Brian, no.
That's yours. Congrats. Walk like an Egyptian.
Stop saying it.
That's awesome. It sounds even better. I can visualize the Bangles ripping that one out right now. And instead of doing this thing, they're going.
Yeah.
Well, I think we found that content we were talking about before, guys. Huh?
Yeah.
We'll just record us doing this on stream. It will make it.
That was funny. I'm funny. It was funny, dude. It was funny. Okay. Yeah. All right. So watches.
I'm going to sleep.
I'll take second watch when the sun starts coming up.
All right.
When the light
Okay.
starts coming over. So
So that sounds like a Britannica.
I guess.
that's a good strategy. You don't want me blind out there.
Well, I mean, you are my slave, but it's fine. I guess I'll be tired.
Live. Okay. All right. Well, you will hear lots of strange noises in the night. You'll hear rocks slipping down the side of the chasm as things move around above you. Unpleasant things. You'll hear strange sounds that you've never heard before. Screeches, whoops, hollers, growls, snarls. Constantly looking up and kind of worrying about whether anything is going to find you, smell you, locate you. So when you are awake, it's a little unnerving. But the sun slowly does rise, and nothing unpleasant found you last night. Okay.
That's a
What you are noticing is your pathway through the chasm is definitely beginning to descend and get lower and lower and lower, and you're kind of on a steady downward slope now. It's only probably about 15 degrees, but that's definitely noticeable as you're stomping your way down in that direction. All right. About mid to late afternoon, you are going to stumble across a sight. And I'm going to go ahead and let me make a little alteration to some tunes here.
It's the Bengals. It's a patrol of orcs.
They're here too.
I'm sorry. I just want to do that from now on. Okay.
All right. All right.
I was about to do that. It's so quiet.
Okay.
There was someone in another room doing it.
So as you guys are all kind of making your way... Oh, you know what? Let me you're a little too big on this one. Let me shrink you down a bit.
I don't like it.
There you go. All right. You're noticing that the chasm starts to kind of drop away in chunks, almost like very deep, heavy stairs. However, it opens up at the bottom before it narrows again into a fairly tight passageway. From your vantage point, as you get to the top, you can see 4 cave trolls, all of which are kind of positioned across the entryway as, you know, applicable guards for the tunnel itself, to make sure nothing is going any further south down this pathway than this. At this point, it doesn't seem like that they have noticed you, as one is busy picking his nose, one is gnawing on some leg bone of something or other. One of them is just kind of sitting down on the ground and looking at his knuckles. You know, they're all just kind of minding their own business. But of course, there's a good distance between you and them currently. Let me make sure that I've got the scale on this map set too. Oh, yeah, no.
Are these the same kind of things that were throwing rocks at us?
Yes.
Oh.
These are those same big, nasty cave trolls that you guys defeated on your way up here, but you did take a beating. Is one reading Tolstoy?
I'm gonna be like, orcs and trolls friends?
Tolstoy.
Yes, I think that I believe that they are.
It's not unfeasible that they could have some kind of alliance.
We'll just act like we're here on purpose, right?
Yes. Just remember. Physicality, posture.
Oh, these aren't orcs, though. Are you sure?
Can I do a survival check?
Sure.
Being in like the mountainous regions.
For what?
About the potential relationships between.
That would be more knowledge. That would come under more knowledge dungeon.
Oh.
Yeah, what's your knowledge dungeon?
It's a 0. I have a 0 ranks in
Druid.
it.
Yeah, I mean survival is more about. You know,
I have nature too, but okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
neither one of those is really. This is not a very natural thing.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. All right.
Well, there's nothing else we can really do, guys.
Yeah. Straighten up and fly right.
Fly right. Grunt's posture.
Not
Don't
you, Brit.
straighten up. You gotta lean.
But not fly? You sure?
No flies.
Positive.
You don't want me to just make us invisible and we just sneak past them and don't...
They're kind of taken up everywhere, and they'll go invisible too when you approach them. Remember.
That's true. Okay, I guess
Look,
just...
Brit, you and I straighten up because we're big, and you guys
Okay.
slump.
Yeah, slump. And
I'm just gonna.
I elbow Cyrano. Slump. Slumpier.
I'm slumped.
Okay, good.
All right.
Kick at you a little bit.
Start walking.
Okay, yeah, we'll start walking up there.
These descents here are probably about 8 feet drops. So I mean, you know, you don't just want to step off it, but they're no challenge to kind of lower yourselves down.
So we do cool jumps.
Yeah, we do cool orc dismounts to the bottom.
Yeah, just...
You're gonna land with one fist on the ground in a crouch, looking at the floor,
Yeah.
and then slowly lift your heads up.
Yes.
Oh yeah, totally like that.
Superhero landings all around.
All of us.
Okay. As soon as you guys start coming over the first ledge, the one orc troll in this the one stone troll in this or cave troll in the center goes and grunts and elbows the one directly behind him and points. And with that, all 4 of them are like, and they climb up, get their big clubs ready, and move kind of more menacingly into a defensive line in front of the entryway. This one, being slightly larger than the rest, steps forward, rears up, and kind of like flexes his huge, big troll-like muscles as you start to approach, and he's taken like a couple of steps forward.
All right, I'm gonna do the same. Am I bigger than Alekma?
No, you're about. There's not much in it between you two.
All right, well, I'm gonna just pretend I am anyway, and I'm gonna do the same.
Okay.
Step up, copy his move, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of meat from my pouch, and I'm gonna like toss it to him.
Like a guard dog.
like a nice gesture, like.
Right, the meat goes on the floor. He kind of looks at you, squints,
bracelet.
and then he reaches down
True
and
friendship
picks it up. What kind of meat is it?
What did they have in a dwarven place? Would they have
Oh, okay. So it's some of the stuff you
whatever
got
I
from the meat.
took from there? Yeah,
Yeah, either chicken or pork or something like that.
Yeah, a good.
Is
hunk
it
of pork,
cooked?
then? Yes.
Okay.
No, raw.
Raw. Okay.
Hey,
All
do
right.
they like raw?
Well, we did cook
Oh,
some.
they like it raw.
Did we take cooked or raw food? I don't
we
know.
took
actually.
we took raw and we cook it. with the-
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Then raw.
Okay. Yeah. He sniffs it and then puts it and kind of chews on it a little bit and then swallows it down.
And I'm gonna give him like an aggressive. Nod.
Okay, so in Orcish, which will do none of you any good except Cyrano, because none of you have quaffed your potions yet. In Orcish, he says to you guys as he points with a big grimace on his face,
Where the hell have you been?
I'm gonna kind of look at Cyrano, like nudge him and kick him ahead a little bit.
I asked you a question.
I'll kind of be pushed up to the front and be like,
We were on patrol. Why are you so late then? Well, we got a bit caught up, didn't we? Where are the rest of ya? That's what we got caught up with. Most of us got taken out back there. You hear that, boys? They got slaughtered. Yeah, we did.
and all the other
So what
trolls
of it?
start
I'll take another few
all
steps
start laughing
forward.
at them. You know, they're all doing big belly rumbles.
I'm just gonna keep following Cyrano's lead.
yeah, I'm gonna take a few more steps forward.
Okay.
Say, I'd be careful what you say next. If our entire troop got taken out and we survived, imagine what we are capable of. Don't you threaten me, you little Orkling. I'll smash your skull with my big club.
And then I'll kind of look back to the group and say,
We might not be able to threaten you, but what if Grimdark hears of this? Grimdark? Grimdark made it north at least a week ago.
and we're headed south, right, Gore?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he dispatched us to take care of some errands for him. So if you don't let us through, he might hear about this. Oh, you're from Grimdark Deathclaw's tribe, are ya? Can't you tell? Well, look. All the orcs
And I'll
look the
point
same
back.
to me.
I'm gonna just
Slam on my shield.
every muscles guy.
Does himself know you're coming? He personally sent us here to take care of his unfinished business. No, dimwit, not Grimdark Deathclaw. Himself. You know, bullhead nutbutt, does he know you're coming? Well, it depends. Has word gotten out to him yet? If not, then we are to be expected. We haven't seen anyone else come through here. Not alive anyway, have we, boys?
I'm gonna take another step towards them, hoping that my group will follow me.
Yeah, we
Yep,
do.
I'm right behind
Back
you.
my plays, bitches.
Snarling and growling.
Okay. So. Yeah. So.
Different day.
I'm going to give you a choice here. You can try to intimidate, which I think you're better at, but it'll be harder because this thing is 10 foot tall and you're a Weasley little orc. Or you can go for diplomacy, which will be easier, but you're not as good as that. So,
well, here's the thing. I have the exact same in both of them.
Well, then
but I'm
you
hoping
choose.
It will be more of.
So diplomacy is going to be probably better for you then.
I mean, yeah, I think it's clear to see that the rest of us are helping him, right?
Yeah,
like we're
absolutely.
back there
I'm like-
slapping our muscles, you know.
Well, but then
greased up.
he's got three big ugly dudes behind him, so that's kind of going to balance that out.
Okay, so it's one to the one.
Yeah.
to the
So
other, essentially.
all right, give me a diplomacy check roll then.
Okay.
I mean, there's no hard fail here, but
Oh.
all right.
Here we go.
Okay. He goes. One of them behind goes.
Shouldn't we send a runner first? Oh, I don't know that holding them up's going to help our case. If they are from Grimdark Deathclaw, he'll be mighty pissed if we waste 2 hours sending a runner. Besides, if they ain't who they say they are when they get down there with the rest of the boys, they'll sort them out all right. That's true.
And with that, you kind of notice after he says about the runner, he glances behind, and you can see a couple of very kind of skinny goblins that are hiding behind them, skulking in the dark.
Well then, I suppose we can let you through. Got any more of that meat?
I'll look back at who threw it to him. Britannica did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I see that she has any more meat on her just by glancing?
It's probably. Are you wearing meat as a necklace or
Well, I just mean-
as a fashion
I have it in,
accessory,
like, a
or is
bag.
it in the bag?
Did you have more in there, I guess?
Yeah.
Like, what I've
I
seen
mean,
you
I-
take more than just one piece.
I mean, I'm
have
sure
more
you
than
took
one
more than
ration,
a
yeah.
piece of meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just kind of point to it, and just kind of give a motion like this, like throw another piece over to the guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And throw another piece out to him.
All right. He attempts to catch it.
No!
And he misses it. It goes flying behind him and lands on the floor. The troll directly behind him reaches down and picks it up, and he spins around and goes,
Give that here, that's mine.
and he goes,
Not anymore, it's not.
ha 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 ha. And he sits and scoffs it. You can see him kind of scowling at each other. And he goes,
We're hungry, we are. We haven't had anything to eat in 2 days. Either you can give us more of this chewy stuff, or perhaps only 3 of you made it back, or survived. Maybe 1 more of you got murdered on the path.
How far are we from our destination? Because you said it was 2 days, right? We've gone about a day.
you've been, you've been a good day and almost
half.
another day. You can't be far.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just kind of weigh it out in my head and think like we probably don't need anything, and if we need to go one night hungry, I'll kind of skitter back to Britannica here, and try to. I'll roll my eyes and kind of like cower down a little bit and reach up for the bag of meat to her.
just give it to him.
You're so dead after this.
And I'm gonna turn around
Kick him a little bit.
and take it and just give it a chuck at it, and it hopefully just kind of spills out in front of them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, immediately they'll all scrabble to grab some of it. And he goes, this'll do. And they all start stuffing it. He goes, are you sure? And he kind of looks, as he says this, he's kind of looking directly at Britannica. So Britannica, you can tell he's talking to you, not that you'll understand a word of it. He says, are you sure you wouldn't like to leave one of your lower members with us for a bit of orcish supper?
I'll step kind of in front.
This one!
We worked as a pack. We survived as a pack. We go on as a pact.
And I'm just gonna grunt agreeingly with whatever I think they're saying.
Shame. All right, lads, let them through.
And with that, they kind of start peeling away from the entryway to give you room. But they are kind of looking and motioning rather threateningly as you walk in. Like, they're not lowering weapons, they're like gripping their weapons and holding their clubs very, very aggressively. Like, any minute they might just decide to tear into you.
I'll kind of again take a few steps back and let the bigger orcs go ahead of me.
I'm just gonna kind of nod agreeingly and just prance.
Prance?
Okay, well, like strut.
There you go.
Little orcish swagger.
Orcs don't prance.
Okay, sorry. I'm new to this.
I'm gonna do a pirouettes and maybe a little.
Yeah, they're starting to. They're not really believing that you're orcs much anymore.
And I take my headband off and throw it. Whoops! Just kidding.
And I'm just gonna keep giving them the mean mug.
Okay.
I go through. Like,
As you kind of go through, a couple of them like do this and like get all like lean in and try to intimidate, but they don't actually do anything. The two goblins, however, as you kind of get close, they will run and hide behind the legs of the biggest two trolls that they can get behind, because they are intimidated by you lot.
We'll just keep on moving.
Do the sideways shuffle. Move!
I'm going.
Give Annie a
like
poke in the back with a spear. Okay. All right, so you guys make your way past. All right. Yeah. You hustle your way past, and afterwards you can kind of see the trolls reposition themselves and block the passageway once again. I'm just going to move you guys down here so that I can. Okay. Well, as it turns out, after no more than about an hour, you eventually kind of start to see that the pathway is getting, or the walls of the pathway or the chasm are getting lower and lower and lower. And now you can actually see out into much more of an open expanse. And far in the distance, you can see the rolling plains and hills, pointing in the southerly direction from where originally you came. At this point, the path kind of gives way to open rocks and crags, and you can see bellows of smoke rising from numerous buildings, or not that you can't see the buildings yet, just the rising smoke. As you continue to kind of work your way down through the crags. Eventually, what you see is a large kind of stone-areaed clearing and dozens upon dozens of orc huts and tents. And at a ballpark guess, probably at least 100 to 150 orcs, all mulling around their daily orcish business, doing daily orcish things, living daily orcish lives. Right in the very big center, there's a huge big tent. Other than that, they're scattered loosely. There's no semblance of rhyme or reason to the placement or organization. It's just they're dumped there. Periodically, you can hear the clanging of iron and metal as orcs go toe-to-toe with each other, either in anger, jest, or in some kind of military preparation. But needless to say, it is a very different world that you guys are about to step into. So before you actually go any further, this is kind of the last threshold between not being in the middle of an orc civilization or being. So what do you guys want to do?
I don't want to take the potion yet, so I'm gonna.
No, I'm.
Yeah.
Somewhere super close to, like, on my belt.
I mean, you're probably 15 minutes on foot to getting into the camp.
Yeah, I think we're gonna put it somewhere easily accessible to us.
Yeah.
Like, but not like so we don't have to like rummage through our packs.
Okay, so you want them kind of real easy to pick up and just swig when you need to. Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, weapon in hands, square shoulders. Look at everybody and go. Where's this amulet gonna be?
Probably in the nicest hut and with the baddest pet orc, right?
Deathclaw, right?
Probably.
Sorry. Probably, yes.
Deathclaw.
But
is
they
not-
said
not
he's not there.
Right,
But-
he's not here.
Isn't
But
he
the
the
other
one?
one is.
Nutbutt's here. Was that it? No,
Nut-
Bullhead Nutbutt. Yeah, that's right.
Nutbutt. But he's the one who took it. So maybe his hut will be unoccupied because he's gone?
His
Oh.
nut hut?
No.
Or maybe
The Nutbutt hut?
I worry that the treasure will be protected and guarded over.
Well, you leave that to me.
Right, well, just make sure you can. You did great back there, just translating as best you can what we need to say so we don't have to use our potions.
Sure, of course.
And,
No, never mind.
What?
I was just thinking maybe there could be some shorthand that we could, a signal so we could know whether to say yes or no or, you know.
I was just going to say, and maybe there should be some sort of a signal to where if one of you has... Now, we all have potions.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't need one.
So we have an extra
Really?
one.
We
have an extra. And if it comes up to the point where, let's say, Britannica, let's say someone's just getting in your face, right?
Mhm.
And you need to be able to respond and they will not take anything else. I should be able to give you some signal to be like, hey,
Yeah, give me a nudge if I'm
hit
I
the
need
sauce, you know?
if I need to hit the sauce.
Yeah, I'll
agree.
just give you a quick little,
Yes.
I'll just give you one of those. But
That seems obvious. Why not just?
Oh.
If you point with two fingers, that means take.
oh, okay, that's not
The
as fun,
gosh
but sure,
darn.
yeah, that's fine.
Point with one finger. It's
You're good.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would also
Yeah.
suggest we stagger our consumption. We don't all drink at the same time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Is where if someone has to do it, that's okay. They're not going to ask us like a group therapy session where we all have to be communicating at the same time.
Right.
Just if I need a little more oomph behind me, I'll give you the old 2-finger point.
two-finger point.
Yeah, so
But
two
what about
fingers,
the
yes.
Though, what's that gonna be?
What's what?
No is one.
No, how about this? No, yes is one. Like if I say, "Oh, are you talking to her?" I mean him. Clearly, that's what I
Okay.
meant. That's a yes. If I point at you with 2, it's a no. If I point at you with 3, it's a take a swig.
Okay.
Okay,
if you
so
point at me
wait.
with two fingers, I'm gonna go.
Yes,
So if it's
Point me with
one,
one finger, I'm gonna go.
correct.
Three
And if I
fingers,
point
I'm
three-
gonna go. I'm thirsty.
Yeah, you're gonna go. You're gonna say, give me a moment, and then take a little swig.
so one is yes,
Yes.
2 is no,
Uh huh.
3 is drinking.
3 is take a swig. Yep.
Drink and answer for yourself. Yes.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Although the only problem with that is that if a question's asked and you have to take a swig,
Well,
you
you
wouldn't have
just
heard
say-
the question.
You just say like, "Oh, I was so parched. Ask me again, kind sir."
Yeah.
Well, not you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir. Yeah, don't do that.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Sorry, when I'm not in the moment, I have to be in the moment to really connect with the character I'm playing.
Do you feel the orcness?
You know, I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, I feel like an orc, baby.
I mean, we look like it.
Man, I feel
we just
like an
fooled-
orc.
So now you tweet on me. I can't take it, you know.
I feel like an orc man. Yeah. See? Anyways, what was I saying? 1 is yes, 2 is no, 3 is drink.
Okay.
Got it. Let's go.
All right.
Okay, are you guys trying to sneak in, or are you going to kind of like go balls to the wall and just blazingly stroll straight down into the village?
Well, I think like somewhere maybe in between those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our orc window. What?
Nothing.
I mean, so is the village surrounded by guards patrolling, or they're like
No.
walking?
So for the majority, as you start getting closer, you can see that there are some orcs kind of on sentry, but they're brazen enough and with their numbers to not think anything is stupid enough just to stroll in here and like try to mess with them. So you can see there are sentries, but they're not particularly being vigilant. They don't have watchtowers set up. There's not even any real fences or palisades or anything to this. It's just, as the tribe grows, they just keep plopping more tents and stuff and gradually just expand and fill out more areas in the crags. So
yeah, I think we're gonna just avoid the sentries, but not be sneaky. Hey, there's an opening 100 yards to the
okay,
right,
so try to avoid going
just walk in.
directly through, but not be all so that anybody seeing you would be like, what are they up to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we belong, but don't need to answer questions.
There you go. Sounds good. Alrighty. Well, we are pretty darn close to the end
show us
of
the
our
orc
stream
encampment.
tonight. And I really don't want to
Spoil the...
kick off our orc excursion into this. So, once you guys get to the orc camp, are you guys going to drink your potions then, or are you going to hold on to them still?
Hold on.
We're
Okay.
holding on to him.
Yeah.
All right, so nobody's quaffed anything as of yet.
No.
Sounds good to me. All right, well, that is where we are going to leave it for tonight. That'd be a good spot for us to wrap things up, I think. Alrighty. Yeah, I didn't know if you guys would decide to duke it out with the trolls, or if you would try to diplomatically go through. So, hey, I think you chose the better option.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. When I'm not playing a tree-hugging druid on How Reroll, I'm Shagget. You can follow me on twitch.tv/Shagget, where I stream casually, or on Twitter, if you can figure this out, at @eneb_convos. How's that for laziest outro ever? My ass sass. See you guys.
Jane? Jane, what are you doing? You gotta record your outro. Jane? She's dead.
Hi! Jane's dead, but it's me, Jane's Spooky Ghost. You can follow me on my spooky adventures at Jane on Twitch with a 0. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later when you're dead. Please.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy, the Snuggler. Oh man, is it my 3rd campaign already? If you guys do want to follow me, I'm pretty active on Twitter at MattySweetTweet. And if this didn't scratch your D&D itch, Chris Tassix and I have a new podcast coming out. You can find out more information about that if you go to www.newcritsontheblock.com. Jane put it right there for everyone to see. We hope you guys go and check it out and enjoy it. Until next time.
Hi, friends and fans. It's me, Christy. Okay, that's good. I'm new and scared, like a lost little baby bear cub in
big spooky woods of streaming. But luckily, my mentors, Snugs and Jane, are here to guide me through with grace and wisdom and beauty and muscles and beauty again, but mostly muscles. Jane said I could promote my art and my D&D podcast. That's all I can say about that. Because she also said that hogging the spotlight is selfish and ugly. So, thanks for everything, Snugs and Jane. This is Crispy, saying sayonara.
Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter @Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons & Dragons related. And of course, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also, guys, don't forget to keep up with all things How We Roll. Follow us on Twitter @HowWeRoll. Check out the website www.howweroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.